I really feel I can feel the product working, and I get the euphoric sense of more energy and focus within about 5 to 10 minutes. I was increasing my reps anywhere from 5 to 10 on something that I was usually doing only 10 to 15. So I was almost doubling my reps. I just felt no decrease in energy as opposed to starting to finish. I felt completely energized as I did at the beginning of the workout, which normally I don't feel that way. Normally by an hour in, I'm exhausted, ready to go home, tired. Like I've had enough of this, where I totally felt the opposite of that. I've done some 5 milliliters before sleep, and I have noticed that I do feel like I get a lot better sleep, more quality sleep. I feel more rested. The product I look forward to every morning, it's like my coffee. From what I, have read and the research on it, I don't think there's any negative side effects or consequences of taking it.
Frank Yosa here, CEO of Ketone Aid, and we will be interviewing Bryan on our first interview podcast regarding microdosing.
How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for letting me do a last minute interview. I've been wanting to do more of these because the website is full of people that took, professional athletes that took mega doses, 1 or even 2 servings. And that's not how people are taking it. People are taking fractions of a serving, 1/6 of a serving, which is, unusual in the whole, pre-workout world. So I wanted to get some, testimonies. And I will have to disclaim though, I think your results are unusual. So not everyone is getting the results you get. So I like to, kind of preface with that.
Sure. Yeah, I know, for me, I'm a pretty sensitive person to, any kind of, pills or medicines or anything like that. So that could also play a role in that, maybe I'm just more sensitive to the product.
Well, yeah, we have told people that when they know that they're sensitive to things in general, whether it's, Advil or, anything that they read a label and it says to take a certain amount and that doesn't work for them, that they should be aware with the ester and start even lower than what we consider our minimum microdose, which is 10 mLs. We tell them to go down to 5 mLs. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I mean, even I took 1/4 of a tablespoon and I noticed after testing my ketones about 30 minutes later, it jumped from 0.2 to 0.8. So it was a 0.6 increase with just 1, milliliter of the product. So
you said 1/4 of a tablespoon. So a tablespoon,
a teaspoon,
1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to watch out for that because sometimes the ketones can get on your fingers. Now, if they got on your fingers and you did a blood test, they would have been like 3 or 4 millimolars. So, that 0.6 might be accurate.
I always wash my hands before I do the test to make sure. So
great. Okay. Well, then, that 1 millimolar or 1 milliliter to get that jump is pretty impressive. So let's talk about what how many different ways you've tried it, what different amounts, what you prefer, and take it from there, and then what your results were.
Yeah. So for me, kind of like I said, I'm sensitive to stuff, and so the whole pre-workouts with stuff loaded with caffeine and that kind of stuff, they just don't work for me. I get too anxious and jittery, and it just interrupts my workouts. And so I've tried things like MCT oils and other exogenous ketone products and
ketone salts specifically. You're talking about tried ketone salts.
Yep. And for what you had to take for the amount, you'd have to take to experience results, it would really upset my digestive tract. And so that's what I really like about your product is you can take such little amounts. I've, taken up to 20 milliliters of the product at the most and experience no, symptoms of digestive discomfort or anything like that.
Right. So 20 mLs, let me just jump in. 20 mLs would be about $10 worth. And that would be the equivalent of about four packets of racemic ketone salts, 3 or 4 packets. So that would be a salt load of like 12 grams. So even if you wanted to, that wouldn't even be possible for someone that wasn't sensitive.
Right. Yeah. Just like I said, for this product to get similar results of, a normal scoop, a serving of the salts, I can get the same results with 1 to 2 milliliters of this product, like you said, which is equivalent of 25 to 50 cents for this product versus that product where you're looking at, $2 per serving or so. So
Yeah, we're trying to get the message out that is actually less expensive than the non-racemic salts. And I've been saying about the same price as the racemic salts, but you're saying that, based on your results, the ester is actually even less expensive on a gram per effective gram basis, or dollar, basis.
Correct. Yeah, I'd say it's probably 3 to 4 times as strong for the dollar amount of money that you pay with the salts.
Wow, great. Okay. So the first day, how much did you take right out of the gate, and what was your workout, and what were your results?
So the first day I didn't do a workout. I just tried it just in the office here, just to kind of see how it would affect me and whatnot. And I think me and the other guy that I work with did 7 milliliters of the product, and we both experienced just this phenomenal euphoria, this dramatic sense of focus, of energy. We both felt like we wanted to go to the gym at that point. Obviously, we were stuck at the office at that time and couldn't. But we knew right away we were onto something, that we found something that was a game changer, something completely different than we'd tried with other, products of the same, function.
Genre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exogenous
And,
category. Yeah.
right. And so then the first time I tried it, I just went in, fasted overnight. I like to do my workouts in the morning. So, I usually get up 5:36 and do my workout. So I'll take this product. Well, let me start off by saying I take some salt to start off in the morning while I'm fasted, just to hydrate my body and, make sure that I have enough, sodium in the body to work out. But then
That's a great idea, by the way. I tell everyone to do that you should wake up with sodium and potassium tablets, or if you're okay with drinking salt water, take that down. That's the first thing I do in the morning. So that really is complementary with the esters.
Yep. And then about 10, 20 minutes later, which the product I look forward to every morning, it's like my coffee or my, drug of choice. And from what I, have read and the research on it, I don't think there's any negative side effects or consequences of taking it, a little bit here, every there, every day. But so I'll take usually between 5 and 7 milliliters of the product. 5 milliliters is kind of my normal dose that I take, and experience great benefits with that. And like I said, I'll take it about 10 to 15 minutes before I get into the workout. And I really feel I can feel the product working, and I get the euphoric sense of more energy and focus within about 5 to 10 minutes.
And let's talk about your diet quickly, because we found that the amount people take dramatically is different depending on whether or not you're a keto eater, a full glucose eater, and empty stomach. Let's talk about those variables as well, so people can manage expectations.
Yeah, right now I'm on kind of a vegan mostly diet. I'll occasionally eat meat, maybe once a month or twice a month, but not very frequently. But generally,
Are you keto? Because I thought you were keto, because normally you need to be keto in order to get the results at the 5 and 10 mLs.
So I did keto for about 2.5 years leading up to switching that. And then probably the last month or so, I have gone more of a vegan keto, especially in the morning. I'll only consume carbohydrates with my dinner, because I found that I like the mental benefits of getting some carbohydrates to up your serotonin. But I personally find I have people who've tried the product that have never done any kind of keto whatsoever, and they'll experience the same results after 5 milliliters that I've experienced. So I don't necessarily agree that you'd have to do that. I think that some people can find, because it's something so completely different that they've never experienced, they've probably never had the, ketone bodies floating to use their mind and that kind of thing.
Right, but what we found, just to play a devil's advocate for my own product, is that the non-keto people, they're just, the body isn't able to recognize the fuel, that they tend to need more. But maybe we're wrong. Maybe I've been tending to start them off higher. Maybe I need to try a few of them on the lower side. I just got off the phone with someone last night, an old friend from high school, and it wasn't working for him. He's not keto, and he went up 25 mLs, and he was feeling flat. And I said, well, the flat is a result of you not having enough glucose. So I had him do the dual fuel. So he's going to try that now. But maybe I needed to actually take him all the way down to 5 mLs and try that out once.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of the dual fuel. I feel I get the most benefit out of the product when I have eaten, probably 2 or 3 hours prior to taking the product. I don't take it with food, but having, glucose in the system, I think is important to getting the most benefits. Where when I have taken it when I'm fasted, I again notice that I do need a little bit higher. Like if I go on an 18, 20-hour fast, and I'll take the product before that, I won't experience the benefits quite as strong as I do having eaten, 2 to 3 hours prior
Right.
to taking the product. So
what kind of results was there anything quantifiable? Like you have a certain workout and then you, without the ester and then you
yeah,
take the
I've
ester?
noticed that for a lot of the different reps, I jot down different, my workouts and how much I've done, how many reps I can do of various weights. And I've been able to find that I was increasing my reps anywhere from 5 to 10 on something that I was usually doing only 10 to 15. So I was almost doubling my reps while I was under the product, based on, before and not using it and then using it. So I find that.
Was that was that with the dual fuel, or was that by itself, just the straight esters? And how much was the esters? How much ester were you taking in order to get that, double reps?
So that was when I had eaten probably 2 hours prior to the workout, and then I took the Ketone Aid product about 15 minutes before the workout. So I was.
So how much though? How much though? Was it the 5 mLs or the 15?
5 milliliters of the product.
Okay.
So yeah, very, like we had talked about $2.50 worth of the product, and I felt like I could work out. I did an hour workout, and I felt like I could have gone another 3 hours. I just felt no decrease in energy as opposed to starting to finish. I felt completely energized as I did at the beginning of the workout, which normally I don't feel that way. Normally by an hour in, I'm exhausted, ready to go home, tired. Like I've had enough of this, where I totally felt the opposite of that.
Well, you have to watch out, because the other day, I'm starting to get back into running myself. I ran in college, and I, took the ester before the run, and the first mile, not so great. Second mile, not so bad. And I wasn't planning on going on a long run, and I was on my 5-finger Vibrams. I just kept on literally just turning. I was heading back toward my house, and I decided, oh, let me just take a detour here and just, take another detour. Before you knew it, I added all these detours, and I doubled the length that I was planning on going, and then I blew out my calves, and now I'm, out for like 5 days. So
Right. Anytime you get injured, that puts yourself back farther than, what you do for the workout. So you got to be careful not to get injured when you're working out.
yeah, so you don't want to, overextend something by doing many, many multiples more than what you might normally expect to do. So talk about your stacks. You had your own, you added a couple different stacks. My stacks are niacin, works well with the ester. It actually will lower your blood ketone numbers, but it would actually increase the MCT transporters to bring the ketones out of your blood where they need to go. So niacin works well, but also any of the other brain stimulant things. My favorite is, Huperzine A. It tends to multiply, that, and it is actually known to multiply caffeine by 2 to 3x. So you have to actually watch out for that. It can make you too jittery. So tell me about your stacks.
Yeah, and I don't know the actual mechanisms by which this is affecting the product, but I, again, like I said, I don't take any kind of caffeine products because I just don't like the feeling. But I've been taking a alpha GPC, which is an acetylcholine precursor that you can take to boost acetylcholine, which is one of your neurotransmitters in your brain. 300 milligrams. I'd been taking that before I worked out. And I noticed that when I take the Ketone Aid product with that, as like a stack, like you said, I can get by with a little bit less of the product and feel the same results as taking more of the product without the stack.
Okay.
So that's the one thing that I've been supplementing with in combination with the Ketone Aid for feeling, the best results. With the
by the way, the drink is called KE4, just to be clear for people, because we will have shortly, other products, within
Sure.
Ketone Aid, like the ketone water and the snake water. So just to be clear, you're talking about the,
I am talking about the KE4, the ester.
KE4 ester.
Got it right here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, there you go. Let's see what else. Anything different you're noticing in your sleep, waking up the next day, or your recovery or HRV data?
I don't. I currently don't have any kind of logging for sleep or anything like that to know, whether or not. But I noticed just from a standpoint of how I feel, I've done some 5 milliliters before sleep, and I have noticed that I do feel like I get a lot better sleep, more quality sleep. I feel more rested. I've got a 4-month-old at home, and so my sleep is pretty sporadic. And so a lot of times he usually takes his longest, 4-hour stretch right away. And so I'll dose with the 4 milliliters before that stretch, and I'll wake up after 4 hours and I'll feel as good as, having woken up after 8 hours of sleep with using the product before I go to bed. I'll usually take it about half an hour before bed.
Okay. Well, you might want to try and take it right before bed. So, because
Okay.
I'm worried that half an hour, it might kick in. Because once my wife was taking it multiple days in a row, it was working great. She normally is a 3-headed dragon. She was taking the esters before bed without telling me. And she was waking up and getting the baby every morning. I was like, because normally I do. I was like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, I've been taking the esters. And then one day I came up after day 5 and I said, well, what are you doing? And she's cleaning out the closet. She's like, oh, the esters kicked in. So, and with you being super sensitive, I would even play with even less, because if
Sure.
5 mLs helps you for a workout, I mean, try the 3, see what that does. And then if it doesn't, go back up to 5, but take it right before bed.
That's what I really like about the product, though, is it's not a stimulating, it's more of a euphoria that I feel with the product, and just clean energy. It's not a stimulating effect where I feel like I'm wired or I can't sleep on the product. Like, I'll take the product. One time I took it, I was planning to work out. I was laying down with my daughter for her to take a nap, and I was pretty tired from the night before. I took about 7 milliliters, and I was planning to go work out as soon as I put her down, and I fell asleep with her. And
Okay.
For me, it doesn't give any kind of, like caffeine. It's not similar to caffeine. It's a completely different euphoric feeling that you get on the product versus, what you might expect as like a.
For some people, it can make them motivated, though. So it can make them, like you said, you wanted to go to the gym. So she wanted to go to this closet. She saw this closet that was a mess. So it pulled her into, why don't I clean it?
I agree. It's very motivating. I agree with that, but it's not in the sense that I can't, if I'm tired enough, I'll sleep on it, no problem. You know what I mean?
Right. And how many days have you, taken it in a row, or for how long have you been taking it now?
That was one thing I was going to ask you about. Is I was curious if anyone had noticed any kind of tolerance built up taking it, long periods of time every single day. I've been taking it every day for about a week now. I was taking it kind of every other day because I wasn't sure if there was any kind of tolerance, but I've taken it every week and I haven't noticed any kind of tolerance.
No, we have no reports of tolerance. The only thing that we've reported is if someone's baseline was normally here, and then, the ester brings them up to here, but then they take it on a daily basis and their baseline goes higher, then, they're still just getting up to here. They're not going up another tranche necessarily.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, it's definitely designed to be, it's a food, and we take food every day. So except for people that fast, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I love the product. Like I said, every morning I look forward to taking it. It's my, favorite thing that I get to start my day off. Like a lot of people's, coffee or whatever they look forward to starting the day off. It's my kind of dopamine excitement for the morning. So.
Yeah, well, we definitely have walked people through actually getting off of their caffeine addiction using the ester, swapping them out. Have you ever tried using it like twice a day or between the lunch and dinner? Just another small amount. Some people walk around with the plastic tubes and just take, tiny sips throughout the day.
I have as well. Like I said, with that euphoric feeling, I was kind of chasing that a few days in a row just because I love how I feel on it. So I was taking it probably, I feel the effects kind of wear off about the 3 to 4 hour mark. So every 4 hours or so, I was kind of sipping another, 2 to 5 ounces.
Yep, that's what people are doing. And when we have the ketone water, it'll just, just slowly drink it throughout the day, have a couple drinks and slowly get it into your system and have a more consistent flow of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the new products. So I can't wait to.
Tell me about the last thing about the taste. Do you dilute it? What's your system for that?
For me, it doesn't bother me much. I can take it straight, but I usually do dilute it with just a tiny bit of water, maybe 10 to 15 milliliters of water with the 5 or 7, about the same, maybe 10 milliliters on average. And I don't mind the taste at all. I know you send the gum with, but I don't need anything like that. It doesn't bother me. I actually like the taste. I like the smell of it. My body kind of craves it, I think. So
Nice. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on here. I still want to manage people's expectations because I haven't gotten many reports of 5 mLs, people blowing it out, but maybe I need to be suggesting that people try even less. So, I'll take your advice. We have that message group where people, talk about their results. I think you've talked about yours on there, but if you haven't, it'd be great if you join the message group so that you can say, hey, 5 mLs is working for me and a few other people. This is what they've experienced, and encourage other people to go try that and have them post and see if they get the same results.
Where is that message board? How do I get there?
Great. Good question. It's ketoneaid.com/Facebook, lowercase f. That's a link that just pushes you to the actual Facebook discussion group. Or you can go on Facebook and search for Ketone Aid discussion. And it's different than the Facebook page. So it's the discussion group. So I guess you have not been on there. So it's great. Post your results, what your diet is like. Do you find yourself keto? If you hadn't taken any ester, would you test your blood ketones and see numbers, or would you be a 0? That's an important aspect. And then how much you took, and then what your results have been, and whether that has been recreatable for you and for other people.
Sure. Yeah, I will definitely do that. And like I said, maybe, like you said, maybe the fact that I had done keto for such a long period of time, that my body was more, used to using the ketone as a source of fuel for such a long period of time, that definitely can help. Because I'll sometimes eat a few bananas and I'll still register a 0.2 or 0.3 on the ketone meter before I use the product. So
what about you said your partner took it as well at 5 mLs. Is he keto, or what's his deal?
He's kind of the same story as me, where we did it both together for a long period of time, and then kind of got off it and got away from it a little bit, just because we were trying to kind of avoid meat for a while. And
but you can do vegan keto. I'm vegan keto, right?
And that's where the whole now that we're back on it, you were the inspiration for that. So
great.
We're really excited to kind of see where that takes us. So
I just found a new technique real quick on my avocado trick. I had an avocado trick where I mash up 10 avocados, put them in an ice cube tray, squirt lemon over them, and then a plastic sheet. And I just got feedback from someone who was doing that, but he forgot the lemons, and he was like, damn. So then what he did is he filled up the avocados not all the way to the top of the ice cube tray, and then just filled water. And I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Like, you don't need the lemon keeps it from browning, but if you have ice, water, that keeps it from browning, and then you don't need the plastic sheet. So yeah, you just mash up a bunch of avocados into an ice cube tray when they're all perfectly ready so they don't go rotten, and then pour a little bit of, a quarter of an inch of water on it, and they're sealed in there, and you throw those into your avocado smoothies, that I hope to eat daily, but end up, eating.
No, yeah, it's a great idea. I'm always open and curious about new ideas of what's working for other people. So thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Take care, Frank.